If you build it, they will not come when it comes to coaching. This works great in Hollywood movies. Maybe this works with baseball. This does not work with coaching. Hey coaches, what's up? Jeremy here. And today I want to talk about upgrading your offer. So this last week, I got my private clients in the Get Clients program together. And what we did is we brainstormed exactly what's going to take their offer and their offers to the next level over these next 12 months here while I'm recording this in the beginning of 2023. And so I thought it might be helpful to give you guys some background in what we chatted about and share with you the 8 key takeaways that my students had and that even I had, even though it was my event, full page of notes for my own thing. That way you can apply them into your offers. That way you can make more offers with confidence, get more clients, and make more money over these next 12 months. Let's talk about number 1, and that's all about knowing your money buckets. Money buckets. The idea here is there's really only 4 ways to make money with coaching. You can do one-on-one coaching, you can do VIP consulting days, you can have a high-ticket monthly recurring membership, or you can have a signature program, which is more like a group offer. Typically, it's gonna be 12 weeks, 90 days, or less. It's a beginning offering. When you understand that there's only these 4 money buckets, it allows for you to really understand which one you're trying to fill up. And so coaches really fall into 2 categories when it comes to their offers. And we're gonna be taught, this is an underlying theme in some of these upcoming points, but a lot of coaches will launch a program and have some success, and then they feel like in order to keep their messaging fresh, in order for new clients to sign up, that they have to go and make an entire new program. And what I've found is that one of the keys when I look under the hood to some of the biggest online coaching businesses in the world over these last 10 to 11, 12 years, depending when you start counting, is that they're the most simple and the most boring. And they have one offer that works better than anything else. And for a lot of them, they just have one offer, one coaching program for you to join. It allows for their name to become known, become associated. There's some branding aspects, and so many coaches launch program after program after program that nothing can really work well. And so there's a lot of reasons coaches do this, but what I have found is that it's better to have one coaching program and have multiple offers that you alternate through to sign new clients up, to keep your messaging fresh, to keep you excited about growing the business. And so you have one main offer and then you just alternate through VIP consulting days, one-on-one coaching, monthly recurring revenue, high ticket, and a signature program as a way for clients to get started. Thing number 1 is know your money buckets, all right? Before you start going out and making offers, decide which one you're going to be filling up. And I wouldn't even start testing or tweaking the other money buckets until one of them is working really, really well. So the idea is pick which money bucket and stick with it until it works. Second thing is that we have to create pathways. This builds off of point number 1 of knowing your money buckets, and the idea is to stop making new program after new program. It really is going to hinder your growth, and what I want for you to do is truly build out, focus in on, and add all of your energy into one coaching program that you truly believe in. And then once you have that foundation, those money buckets, you choose the money bucket and you create pathways to get there. Yeah, you could offer one-on-one coaching and then you can upgrade them into a high ticket monthly recurring, or you can do a VIP consulting day and then offer them a 12-week workshop, but it's still the same program with the same result and the same frameworks and methods that you're gonna use to get the client to those results. It's all about creating pathways, and this can also be done when you think about like your lead magnets and when you think about the activities that you do that generate interest in your business. So if you're going to make a lead magnet, that can lead them to booking a call with you. It can lead them to a special offer for this one coaching program. So I want for you to look at your coaching program as your house with many doorways, but all of the doorways lead into the same house. That's this idea of creating pathways. Thing number 3, this is major, do not overlook this, and that is falling into the misbelief and the myth of if you build it first, they will come. If you build it, they will not come when it comes to coaching. This works great in Hollywood movies. Maybe this works with baseball. This does not work with coaching. So the build it first mentality is a complete myth. And here's the truth. The truth is that the hardest part about building an online coaching business is getting the clients. It's selling it, not creating it. anybody can create a coaching program. Everyone listening to this right now either has a coaching program, is working on a coaching program, or is thinking about it. That's the easy part. That's the cost of admission. Anybody can create it. There's probably AI. You could probably outsource this, right? To someone that's far less qualified than you to be making a course, and it can be made. But most coaches overlook and do not want to do the hard work up front. And then they also think, well, I have nothing to sell. All right, so I don't have anything to sell, so let me go and build this program out. They skip the hard work of selling it. What I want for you to do is to sell your coaching before you create it. That means no modules, no videos, no worksheets, no login portals. What this means instead is creating a solid offer, which is really just an outline of your coaching program and what your intention to do with them with this client based on their current pains, fears, and frustrations, selling them on working together, and then building it as you go. For further context, I run the Get Clients program out of a Facebook group. I partially do that just to show my students that you don't need to have one of these fancy built out websites, and I pre-sold my program, and I continue to pre-sell my program as I make upgrades to it. That way I can get people in and interested, and they get paid to build it. Something for you to know as an aside is that as I've been upgrading the Get Clients program, I've been sharing it to my newsletter, my social media following, and over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be fully revealing these upgrades I've made to the Get Clients program and what is now making it different from anything else that you can get in the marketplace. So if you want to know more about that, be sure to follow, subscribe, and if you want to save some cash before I open this to my Facebook group and to the general public, then just drop the word private wherever you're watching this video, or send me a DM on Instagram at whatupjeremy, and I can share with you more of the details before the price goes up. Now let's talk about takeaway number 4 to help you upgrade your offers and your offerings. And that is to start lean and get fancy later, or better, never get fancy at all and just stay lean. 90% of my students who've been through the Get Clients program wasted hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on CMSs, content management systems, like ClickFunnels, Teachable, Kajabi, Kartra, anyone that you can go and find and list. What most of them end up realizing is they go a minimum of 3 or 4 months without new clients because they're focused on creating modules and worksheets and all these things that they feel like need to be done in order to build a successful coaching business that don't need to be done until you get your first paying clients, right? Cart before the horse. Those 4 or 5 months where you're shelling out $100, $200, $300, $400 a month in these recurring services because you never just need one, right? Now you got to go get Zapier, and okay, I got ClickFunnels, but I don't like the email system because I use this other thing. Or better is it's all tied in together and they throw these services, get their hooks in you, and now you feel like you can't go anywhere else and you can't make different decisions. And what I found is that especially when you're just starting off, is that these recurring subscriptions eat into your abilities to grow and make it close to impossible. What I would recommend is to cut the subscriptions and keep it simple. Now, you may not be a new coach, but I think that this mentality applies even more as you start to escalate in your coaching career and in the coaching industry, because at every turn, you're gonna be looking at what all of the other coaches are doing in the space, and whether you realize it or not, you're gonna be modeling them or emulating them because you're gonna be thinking that this is what it takes to be a successful coach. And so you start to make those same decisions. And so what I would recommend more over that of just like the blind leading the blind and finding someone who you aspire to be like and making the same decisions as them is you got to do the right thing in the spot for you, in the place that you're in business. And I would just always advocate for you running a leaner business than running a fancier business, because there totally is a time and place for these CMSs or these, the ClickFunnels, the Sam Carts, the lead pages, and the tons of different options that are out there. There totally is a time and place and argument. I would just put that argument after you're getting paying clients. I would put that argument after you're at 15K in cash collected, at 15K a month, at 15K a week, or 15K per client. And if you can follow that 15K rule, then I think you're gonna be in a far off better spot, and the expenses of those investments are not gonna eat into your actual growth, your capital, and your ability to grow. In fact, one of the students I had on the call admitted to us in the group, and I think this also made other students who weren't willing to admit it even feel more comfortable, and hopefully this does for you as well. They paid for 2 years of ClickFunnels with 0 return and 4 years of a shopping cart that they set up and they never used. I simply use Stripe checkout, a Facebook group, and Zoom, it's way more simple. And I think it's also a bit more fun, but call me basic or call me boring. I just think it works better. And I do it partially as a way to set the example for my students so they don't feel like they ever have to get fancy. And I've just stuck with it because simple always outperforms complexity. Now let's talk about thing number 5, quick sip of the cold brew, and let's get into it. Takeaway number 5 to upgrade your offers is to get your money math right. If you don't charge correctly, appropriately for your coaching services, you can end up with a lot of clients, but not enough cash to stay in business. There's a sweet spot no matter where you're at in your coaching career, whether you're new, existing, or an established and kind of more of an advanced coach. When you price it right, it makes everything else easier. What most people watching this video are gonna be thinking, well, is like, what's the right price? And to that question, I would ask, well, how long is a piece of string? It really depends on the string. It depends on the value that you're bringing. It depends on the value that your client is getting. So pricing is something that you always wanna play around with. But if you're watching this right now and you're thinking, am I charging enough? Then one of two things is, yeah, like you need to charge more, raise your prices right now. I would also ask, when's the last time you raised your prices? I was literally on a call yesterday. I don't do sales calls, but I got on the phone with a prospect who's been considering joining the Get Clients program to answer some questions. When she looks at her own coaching program, she has about half of her clients that she's charged high ticket, and about half of them that she didn't. And all of the high ticket ones pretty much said yes without needing to hear her whole spiel. And the clients who she charged low ticket struggle showing up for appointments, don't show up, they ghost her, they do all the things that never feel good as a coach in this industry. I would just always recommend leaning towards charging more because of the relationship and what it establishes in the interaction with them. Is that people who pay more are gonna value you and your coaching more. They're gonna look at it as like, I'm gonna show up at this time on this day for this call, even though I have all of these other priorities going on in my life or in my business or in my family or with whatever. And they're gonna prioritize it because of that investment they spent. And even though, like I also said to her, that there's nothing new under the sun when it comes to growing a coaching business. You can find everything online through podcasts, YouTube videos, blog posts, if you're willing to spend the time in putting it together. She acknowledged that before I even had to say that last part. But when you pay for something, even if it's the same thing you've learned before, you are now gonna hear it different. You're gonna see it different. You're gonna be at a different place in your business where it's gonna mean something different. Or if you're part of a really good program where it's a group environment and you get to interact with other students at a very similar, maybe tiny more advanced or a tiny more, of a step before where you're at, you get to see how everyone else is learning and their perspectives on what they're learning too. And sometimes it's that 10th time you hear something that you already know that you're not doing, which means you don't know, to actually internalize it and go and do something about it. So you have to get your money math right, and this means pricing accordingly. This means never doing low ticket, and this means aiming at a more premium part of the market and charging your worth. That's thing number 5. Let's talk about thing number 6. 6 is that you need less clients than you actually think. When you get the price right, most coaches only need 1 or 2 new clients a month to hit their revenue goals. I'm big on that 15K number, so in the Get Clients program, that means 3 to 5 clients, if you're pricing this correctly, to hit 15K in cash collected. And doesn't that just sound so much more doable than saying, well, I want 10 clients or I want a full coaching program? Is that you just need 3. You can break that down even more microscopically by just going client by client and focusing on the next one. You gotta get your money math right and you gotta price it right. And then when you do that, and you know the goal you need of just either 1 to 2 clients, you're focusing on your next one, or 3 to 5 clients. And when you aim at this, it's just gonna make it so much more doable and so much easier for you to be navigating, and to be navigating without the stress and pressure of needing all of the clients, is that you're just looking for your next client, but your goal is 3 to 5. 7, don't worry about upsells. Again, if you're an established coach, there is a time and place for upsells. But anytime you have a new offer or you're working on making your offer really convert well, you gotta keep the main thing, and every new layer of complexity you add makes it harder for you to sell, and it also makes it harder for your customers and your clients to make the decision to actually say I'm in and put their hard-earned money on the line. Just because you see other people doing long-form sales pages, having upsells and offer bumps and all of these sorts of things, it doesn't mean that you have to. This is your business, and I would just always skew towards simplicity versus complexity, doing all of your work to make it super juicy and easy for the right clients, the right prospects to say, yes, I'm in, and investing in themselves. And I cannot overstate how important point number 7 of not worrying about upsells and point number 4 about staying lean and not getting fancy, like how important they are in the underlying context that I'm trying to communicate here to you. Get to 30K a month and then you can get fancy. And this part is worth re-listening to, bookmarking, putting a pin in, and coming back to pretty often, maybe at least once a quarter, so you can keep your mind focused on it, because so many distractions and people's goals and projections will be put onto you, placed onto you, and then all of these things that we know already are gone with the wind. 8th, your current offer is hard to buy, and you have to make it easier if you want to be a success and if you want to make hitting your revenue goals, whether it's your first 15K or 15K a day per client, if you want that to be a possibility. And if you can't explain or unpack your offer in 2 sentences or less, or on a simple napkin sketch that you can do over the course of 1 to 2 minutes, that's my favorite thing, then you must simplify. And you'll know that you've gotten it right when you say the name of your offer and your prospect's ears perk up. Or when you get on your sales call or you share the details of your program, how we roll, they don't want to hear anymore. They just want to know where to put their credit card and their hard-earned money. Is that if you do the right things, you're going to build that trust and authority. And then when they see their offer, the hard work's already done. All they need to know is, do you have room for them? Are you taking clients on right now? And maybe a payment plan, or what's in it for them if they pay in full. There were more takeaways on the call, but I thought I would share with you these 8 biggest ones so that you can apply them in your offer as you enter this new year and as you start to navigate in your coaching business. What I want to know from you, wherever you're consuming this, is what stood out to you most. So leave a comment below, and if you can't comment, send me a message on Instagram at WhatUpJeremy, pretty much everywhere, and let me know what stood out to you. And be on the lookout to hear all these upgrades we've been making to the Get Clients program. I've been working hard to make this the best coaching program for new and established coaches, and to make it different and more helpful, and to get your results faster, to get to 15K in cash collected, 15K a month, 15K a week, or 15K per client. That's the progression. It's the only one you need to be focusing on here in 2023. If you want to know more about that, just drop the word private and I can share with you all the details. That's it for me. Thanks so much for watching, and here's to getting clients, and here's to your coaching business in 2023.